I'd like to do more videos on this swing because it's fun, but at the same time I feel like the swaying motion would probably make people sick, so I'm just not going to do that. What's up, you guys? Welcome to my happy place. So I've got a story for you guys today, and it's about me being a friend. Good or bad, I'm going to let you decide on that. There's definitely aspects of both in this story, and which one outweighs the other is up to you. As I've mentioned before, I spent a year abroad in a institution for religious study in Israel. In this place, I was roommates with one of my closest friends, Yitzi. Not only roommates, we were actually bunkmates. He was top, I was bottom, if you know what I mean. Anyway, so Yitzi and I were particularly close because we would always get into weird scenarios together. He'll probably be showing up in a lot more of my stories, but the reason that we got into those scenarios is that I would come up with a plan, and then Yitzi would just kind of go, okay. He'd just roll with it. He rolled with the punches no matter what happened, and that's why we always ended up in odd scenarios. One day, Yitzi wasn't feeling so well. He had taken a lot of cold medication, and he was pretty much just laying in bed. But I really wanted to go out drinking that night, and Yitzi was my drinking buddy, so he had to come with me. So I tell him, Yitzi, I really want to go drinking tonight. And he says, I don't know, I'm not really feeling so well. And I said, Yitzi, come on. And he says, all right, let's do it. Because that's like the extent of the argument I have to have with Yitzi, because he's down for anything. Anyway, so we hop on a bus and we get to Jerusalem, and we buy ourselves like 2 little bottles of alcohol. I buy myself a little whiskey, he buys himself a little vodka. To be clear, this is like, we bought the cheapest, worst stuff that you can put in your body. It's like rubbing alcohol in drinkable form, but not really much better for your body or taste-wise. But it's cheap, and it works, so that's what we drink. Anyway, so we sit down on the side of the street in Jerusalem and start drinking and playing Magic, as in Magic the Gathering, because it's Israel and no one gives a shit. And I've done at this point about 2 shots, and Yitzi's done about 4 shots, which is like half the bottle. And I tell him, Yitzi, I'm gonna go stop by the store real quick and get a chaser, because this is disgusting, and I would really like to not have to taste it longer than I have to. And he says, that's cool, that's good. I am gone for maybe 5 minutes. I come back, and his bottle is empty and my bottle is gone. And I say, Yitzi, what happened? And he says, I drank it. I said, you drank both? And he said, yeah. I said, where's my bottle? He's like, I threw it. It was an empty street, and he threw it into an alleyway, just so we're clear. Like, it was fine. No one got hurt. And the reason he did it is because he was hopped up on cold medicine and way drunker than he should have been, because he drank so much in such a short period of time. Bear in mind, it was also really, really bad alcohol. Like, I cannot emphasize enough how bad this alcohol that we were drinking was. So at this point I realized it's probably time to take him home, and I'm not about to risk taking him on the bus in the state that he was in, because he was not in a good state. So I walk up to a cab and I start negotiating. And I managed to get a cab driver to agree to take us for the equivalent of, let's say, $40, which is not a bad deal. It was actually pretty good. I get him in the car, and we head out, and everything's going pretty okay. Like, he's stable, he's just kind of lolling there and not really doing much. We pull up in front of the institution that we're staying at, and let's call it a school for simplicity's sake. We pull up in front of the school, and I hop out of the car because I know I gotta get Yitzi out of the car. I run around to the other side, and just as I open the door, he voids everything onto the inside of the cab, and more importantly, himself. So I don't know what to do about that at all, because I don't know what the protocol is for talking to a cab driver whose cab your friend just threw up his entire being into. So I just kind of said, I'm sorry, and I threw him like an extra $60, and I ran away with Yitzi. And by ran away, I mean, like, I threw Yitzi's arm over my shoulder and kind of hobbled with him to the nearest park, which was like a block away. So I lay Yitzi down in this park, and I'm panicking because I don't know how to get us into the building, because there are cameras on the building, and if they see Yitzi covered in his own being, they will most likely kick me out, and they will most definitely kick him out. So I'm not about that situation. The time is about 2 a.m. So knowing that no one in like the immediate vicinity is awake to help me, I decide to call somebody out of the country, and I decide to call my friend Peter, who lives in America. So after telling the story to Peter, he basically told me exactly what I should have known to do on my own had I not been like panicking from the situation. And that is that I had to swap shirts with Yitzi, and that's exactly what I did. I cleaned him up as best I could, I took off his shirt, I took my shirt off, and I was wearing a jacket. So I just zipped up my jacket, and we looked fairly normal. The next step was getting him to be able to walk well enough that we could walk into the school on camera, because there were security cameras that were checked, So I wait about an hour. I'm just kind of giving him a little bit of water, watching him, making sure he's okay. And as soon as he's awake enough to be conscious of what I'm saying, I say, Yitzi, eyes on me. Here's what we got to do. You're going arm over my shoulder, and we are going to walk to that door, okay? It's like 1,000 feet away. We can do this. And you know what? I think we pulled it off. The next challenge was getting him up the stairs to our room, which wasn't that bad. It actually went pretty okay. And as soon as we get to the room, I say, Yitzi, do you need anything? Do you want a shower? Do you need help or anything? And he says, no, I want bed. And I say, okay, you want bed? That's fine. That's okay. Go to bed. And just as he's hobbling off to bed and I'm breathing like a sigh of relief, he turns around and he gives me a big hug. And he says, Zach, you're a really good friend. Thank you. And I said, it's no problem, man. I didn't really bring up the fact that the reason he was so drunk and the reason he was so messed up was because I made him go out drinking when he wasn't feeling well. So I don't know if that really makes me such a good friend. But that's why I leave it up to you guys. I don't really know whether or not this is a good friend story or a bad friend story. It might just be a friend story. Who knows? If you like this video, please like. If you want to comment on whether or not I was a good or bad friend, please do so down below. Please share this video and also subscribe if you want to see more content like this. From my happy place, I'm Zach. Now go away.